every Houston starter, double digits. Paul George dropped 34, Kawhi added 25, but the Clippers still came up short, 122 to 117. Chris, how impressed were you with those Houston Rockets last night?
I was impressed. I don't think I was as impressed as Skip Bayless, but I was impressed. Look, going there 14-1, the Clippers were at home, to beat them like that, I think that was a good win. P.J. Tucker was the best defender on the floor, did a great job on Kawhi, held him 2 of 9, 8 points in the second half.
What?
And Houston, you know, everybody, it's kind of a cliche now to say a D'Antoni team is horrible defensively. Over the last month or so, they've been pretty good defensively, and last night they showed, you know, we can buckle down when we need to. They got some help from the Clippers, of course, but 48 points in the second half.
Right.
I'll give them credit for that. Here's the thing I hope the Rockets learn, and I think they need to learn, Skip, if they're going to be the team you think they can be. It doesn't have to be all Harden all the time. It doesn't. He's averaging 38 points. Russ is averaging 23. I would like that to be about 33 and 26, or even lower for both of them. And when Eric Gordon gets back, he's giving you 17 or 16, 18, whatever, because you need balance. And I know last night Russ was unusually good with 40, but they don't need James Harden scoring 38 points. You're not going to win a championship. The most points a player has ever averaged in the regular season and won the title is 32.6, and that's Michael Jordan.
Yep.
That was his 4th highest scoring season of his career.
Right.
When Wilt was 50, 44, 38, he wasn't winning. And so I just don't. Marcus Johnson, we were talking to him yesterday on our radio show, The Odd Couple, with Rob Parker. And Marcus Johnson said this. He said his second year in the league with the Bucks, you remember, he was a great player.
Yeah.
5-time All-Star. He averaged 26 points. Don Nelson went to him before the next season and said, look, we need you to bring that 26 down to 20. And he did. He averaged 21 that year. They went from 38 wins, no playoffs, to 49 in the playoffs. The next year he brings it down to 20. They win 60 and lose to Dr. J and the Sixers in a tough 7-game playoff series. So my point is sometimes less is more. Now I know you got the branding and you got your sneakers and, you know, you're a superstar. So it's hard to say, man, I could average 38 and be the highest since Wilt.
That puts you in rarefied air.
Right. Or I could average 32 and maybe we
A lot of people average 32.
But that's what I hope they learn. Because that's what I think they need.
Well, Chris Broussard and Skip Bayless has told me this might be the greatest defensive team that's ever been assembled. They got Pat Bev on ball. They got these 2 wing defenders. This is Scottie Pippen. I've heard NFL execs say this is Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan 2.0. And now I've seen this team play 3 times. And Harden or Westbrook has gotten at least 37 in all 3 games. Now I need to know why this is happening.
Whoa. What do we call James Harden? Greatest offensive player ever?
No. And what do we call Kawhi? He might be the greatest on-ball defender since Michael Jordan. And I just need to know why he guarding P.J. Tucker. I just need to know that.
I know you got a question about that too. Why, they're not putting Kawhi on the best offensive player.
Oh, but
now Beverly is good too.
Yeah.
And Paul George and they got some good defenders. But why are they hiding Kawhi?
It's December. That's all you need to know. Period. End of story. We're not even to Christmas yet. Okay?
Whoa.
Wait for March. Wait for April. And definitely wait for May and June.
Oh, you wait for... Is he going to play then? I mean, we know he ain't going to play the front of the back-to-back.
The better question is LeBron going to be able to play then?
Hey, Chris,
what rate he's
if
going.
you want those New Balances, I got the guy that can write your prescription for him. Because you got to have a script.
I actually like the new
joke
ones.
is
The latest ones, the ones he wore last night are pretty hot.
Well, he better not wear them again. He better not wear them again. Because he got cooked for 40 in there. Look, what the Rockets showed me, I mean, being down, 46-65 at the half, and they go on a 42-11 run. Now, we know they have firepower. James Harden was struggling in the first half. Russ had it going. Russ doubled him up in the first half on shots. Almost doubled him up for the entirety of the game. So it turned James Harden. And for James Harden to concede anything. You see, when Chris Paul came there, I'm not conceding. You get your butt in the back. Carmelo, the only time that he's taken a backseat that we've seen is Russ. You're like, Russ, go ahead. It's your night tonight, bro. Do your thing. I'm going to facilitate for everybody, keep everybody happy. They got firepower. And if you're going to get this kind of production, you're going to get 6 guys that scoring double figures. Guys scoring double figures. They got 18 off the bench. Now, a lot of that, Skip, you talked about it earlier, Lou Williams getting thrown out of the ball game, and it seemed like it took all the air out of the building because they had it going in the first half. Paul George and Kawhi was taking turns. Oh, Paul George like, okay, boom, boom, let these threes go. Kawhi, Kawhi's not going to speed up. He if Kawhi, if Kawhi just going about his business, just doing his own thing.
And all of a sudden he wins Finals MVP.
And all of a sudden he scores 8 points in the second half and they lose. They get out. That's what happens, Skip. Now you let LeBron James. LeBron, you had it going in the first half. Why wouldn't LeBron do this? You know what? I noticed this about you, Skip, but this man quit on your team. Your team had a chance to be special. Can you look at the Spurs? They're a shell of themselves.
Yeah, he left them for dead.
Yes, you up there and you caping for the man. I can't believe you.
I told you. I forgive, but I don't forget.
No,
he quit on my team.
How you forgive him for that? Left your team for dead.
He was my favorite player for 5 years.
Yes.
I raved and raved about him, and I'm back. I'm okay because he's going to beat your team.
That's what it is. That would.
It's a business relationship, right?
So I got 2 takeaways from last night. Number 1 is Chris Paul and James Harden did not fit. Russ and James Harden are like that because they basically grew up together in Southern California, and their level of trust and respect and admiration runs so deep they will let each other get away with things that they wouldn't let any other human get away with.
Nope.
Last night, they just jumped all over James and said, "You can't have this." And it wasn't that he was cold. He just said, "Okay, Russ, you go." And Russ went and went and went all night long to 40 points and like 31 shots to 16. Are you kidding me? James Harden sat back. He made 8 of 16 and 5 of 11 threes. That's pretty great, right?
Yep.
So it wasn't like he had a cold hand. He's just saying, look, if that's what if they want to play it this way, we'll play it your way, Clippers, and watch what happens. But to your point, Lou Williams is the closer for the Clippers. It's not Kawhi. It's not Paul George. They have both come up small in closing moments in their careers. Paul George against LeBron repeatedly, and Kawhi in moments such as the 2013 Game 6 of the Finals when he missed a crucial late free throw. He was not the Spurs closer. The point is, Lou Williams had to be there. This was their game at home to be won.
Yeah.
And Lou Williams does not get ejected from games. This was only the second time he got ejected. And he got into it with Kane Fitzgerald. And we don't have time to run this, but Chris Webber heard that he was sitting for TNT right there at courtside. And he said Lou was furious because he said Kane Fitzgerald spoke to him in ways that nobody's going to be allowed to speak to him. And that Lou was yelling back, "You can't speak to me that way. I'm a man. I did not speak to you that way." So what did Kane Fitzgerald do in 2017? He ejected LeBron James for the only time in his whole career.
Yeah.
So think about this. Lou Williams has played 1,022 NBA games, and he's been ejected twice, and last night was one, and it cost them that game. LeBron's been ejected 1 time in 1,466 NBA games, and it was by the same guy. You want to talk about a quick trigger? Boom. Okay? So that was basically the ball game.
People don't pay $3,000-$4,000 to come see you throw somebody out.
Right.
Bingo. Thank you very much.
And you are right. Like, Lou Williams could be an all-star this year. He's that important. He's been that big.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, they got the best two bench players in the NBA.
They do.
Him and Trez.
Yep.
We got to leave it there. Awesome stuff, guys. Chris, thanks for being here. And not that you're not special to us, but we have a real